Like they say, you kill my son, I kill your son. No, you gotta kill the person who killed, not the...
That is yusrif fil qatl, means you don't go beyond the limit. The limit is the only killer that is proven beyond doubt that did it intentionally, no circumstances, that's the only one to be killed. You don't go beyond it, around it, more of it, you can go less than it. But you cannot go beyond it, or around it, or more of it. You can go less, but that's it. So that is فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ. You know, the revenge and tribalism, they have their own rules. If you killed one of us, we have to kill 10 of you. No, that's it. 10, anyone. Even not the one who killed. No, we'll just make a blocks on the road, and anybody comes from that tribe, we'll just grab them and get them and just execute them. That's how. So that is, Allah said that is, that's haram. That's not allowed.
That's what you find, like the Muslims who are oppressed, they say they kill our women and children, we're going to kill their women and children. Like,
for example,
no.
all right. Or today they say, okay, we are just paying you back of part of it, but I have nothing to do with it, okay? You go to the airplane and you just destroy the passengers. What do they have to do with it? Well, the American army killed someone there. Okay, well, go to there. Go to the battlefield and fight. But what do I have to do with it? And some of them were Muslims. ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن حتى يبلغ أشده وأوفوا بالعهد إن العهد كان مسؤولا. Now the rights of the orphan. Right? We already read the translation of this 33, right?
No,
read it
no.
again.
And do not kill anyone whose killing Allah has forbidden except for a just cause. إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. And whoever is killed wrongfully, intentionally with hostility and oppression, and not by mistake,
Good.
we have given his heir,
the inheritors, the legal guardian, the kinship, all right?
the authority to demand qisas, law of equality,
The authority, right?
or to forgive, or to take blood money. But let him not exceed limits in the matter of taking this life.
Right. It's either yusrif fil qatl or basically cannot exceed limit. You say, okay, well, you're going to pay me blood money. Okay, I need $10 billion. Well, that's just not going to happen. And that's why the government makes standards. Blood money is not more than that. And if he does not, then they are not going to listen to him. Right. Now, the next one is we're going to talk about the orphans. Go ahead, 34.
And come not near to the orphan's property except to improve it until he or she attains the age of full strength, maturity, and fulfilled every covenant. Verily the covenant will be questioned about. More or less translation.
Again, the word used what? وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا. What?
And come not near.
The same concept. So in regard to trust of wealth, Allah said, don't come even close to it. Orphan and anything can be compared to that concept. What's orphan?
Someone who is without parents.
Okay, someone has lost parents. Okay, that is orphan, both of them. Now, so in that regard,
Both of them, Sheikh?
huh?
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them. In that regard, orphan can be extrapolated to some other aspects. Okay, the money of the society is orphan. This society is an orphan. And whatever money belong to it is a money of the orphan, because it doesn't have someone only we trust to manage it. But this is not the owner. If this is my business, then my business is not orphan, because I am the owner of it. I can do whatever I want to do. But this society or this building or treasures or waqf in Islam endowment This is exactly like an orphan. Doesn't have an owner. That is going to be, we only entrust someone to manage it. Then Allah said to those who are going to be entrusted to manage it, don't even come closer to it. You have to be basically, though you're going to manage it, maybe under your control, in your hand, in your pocket, in your bank. But still Allah said, don't come closer to it. It means do not give yourself any authority to do anything other than what it was meant for. You cannot even change. Like I give some money for that purpose. The one who is in charge cannot even change the purpose. Say, well, I'm going to switch it because here I have enough, but I don't have here enough. So can I switch it? You cannot even do that. It has to go according to the intention of the one who is sponsoring that orphan. If I give you money, you are in charge of this orphan, say for his education, you have to keep it there. Or for his clothes, transportation, or treatment, or whatever, it got to stay that way. Otherwise, you don't listen to the word, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا. Can't change anything. Or the endowment. Here, investment for the cause of Allah, and that is also, I cannot change it. Whatever intended for, it got to stay that way. That is وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا مَالَ الْيَتِيمِ. Now we go back to al-yatim. The greatest loss of any person is to lose his parent at age before 14. This is the greatest loss. There is no loss can be compared to someone lost the parents and he or she is under 14, from 0 to 14. That is the greatest loss. Because you know, as a parent, you know how much your children attach to you, love you, look up at you, wants to be with you all the time, wants you to be around, want to talk to you, to play with you, want to hug you, and this is all gone for orphan. Even they might have someone to take care of them, but it's not the same. It's not the same. If I get and hug Raqib, it's not like I hug my kids. It's not. The effect, the impact, the interaction, the growth is totally different. This is something secret Allah put between the parents and their children. If every time your child hugs you or you hug them, it does impact greatly you and them in a way that will never happen by any other million hugs of all the people around. It's never. So, it's going to happen, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, there will be always orphans, either accident or war or diseases or so on and so forth. And those orphans, Allah made it the greatest obligation on the whole ummah, collective obligation, to take care of them the way they take care of their children. Means they should not even be in an orphanage, because orphanage is, most of it is mistreatment. They use it as a mean to earn living, and they don't have really that much of compassion relationship. It's just like business, like work, like a job. They take it, those who are in charge of this orphanage, it's like a job. They don't have special attachment to each one of them. They don't. They might like one in favor over the other ones, but the rest of them just dealt with as an object. Get to feed them, let them sleep, order them, and structure them, and teach them, and just manage them like whatever, like a shepherd. You take care of the sheep and goats. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made on the collective ummah, society, community, to take care of the orphan. And the Prophet ﷺ said, أَنَا وَكَافِرُ الْيَتِيمِ كَهَاتَيْنِ. And I am with the one that is raising and sponsoring orphan that close in the rank in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or in Jannah in the reward too. Today Muslim Ummah is what? How many? 600 million orphans in the world. 50% of them Muslims. 500 million.
600.
Yeah, or more than 500 million orphans in the world. 50% of them Muslims. And what makes it worse? There are some Muslims, they think the only way they can contribute to the Ummah only by generating more orphans. Their contribution to the Ummah is generating more orphans. Go and kill and kill and kill. Like it's in Syria and all of this group that they claim they are jihadists, they have totally misguided. They think the best way to contribute to the Ummah, generating more orphans. Go and kill adults and generate more orphans on daily basis. This is how they think. Their best contribution. All of these groups that they call themselves whatever, Ansar al-Sharia, Ansar al-Islam, Nur Islam, all of this, they think their contribution to the Ummah is just go and kill adults. So you can generate more orphans. And basically that is worse than what any war or any enemy does to the Ummah. When the orphans become like this, big number, the future of the Ummah is not good. Because these people will get out as lost when they grow up with no close affection. They grow up with no identity, no clarity of identity. And those who get adult with no clarity of identity, they turn to be rebellious. And you see it here in this society. All of those being raised in foster home, they are the most rebellious kids because they don't have clarity of identity. Who I am? I don't belong to these people. They don't belong to me. So I don't belong to the whole society. And that's why they just find their own way. But in sour feeling, bitterness, and rebellious attitude. Because this is how they were raised. If they are not treated with, as I said, strong compassion from 0 to 14, once they realize, something hide on them that, oh, you are not truly our child. Once they get up, they cannot hide it. They know. And they basically develop bitterness, hatred, anger, revenge on everything around them. They don't like anyone. And that is total destruction to the society and to the human being. Totally, this human being being destroyed. Being made to be, as we said, a source of harm to everything, even to themselves. And that is why the Quran has given sponsoring orphan the highest priority. And the Prophet ﷺ, the highest priority, said even you just go and wipe on the head of the orphan with your hand, you get hasana for every single hair you touch. It's just, you don't have to do much, just say, and that's what the Prophet used to, and wipe on their head and their shoulders. Said you get hasana for every single hair you touch. So, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا مَالَ الْيَتِيمِ. Definitely, people are kind, and they have share in the zakah, they have share in the sadaqah. So, orphan is, in Islamic society, they should be wealthy. Automatically, orphans should be wealthy in the Islamic society. Because they have share in the zakah, in the sadaqah, and in all kind of donations and sympathy of the society. So they build wealthy from day one, and that is given. But Allah is not talking about just giving them, because the structure of the society will make them wealthy. Is how you basically serve them in their best interest, whether money-wise, education-wise, or well-being-wise, or emotional-wise, or otherwise. So it goes beyond that just provide them with the basics. Islam, for orphan, goes beyond provide basics. Allah said, and it is known, that orphans in Islamic society, if they get only their share of zakah, they have wealth. But if they get all other shares, that is in the Quran, al-yatim, 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 وَلَا يَحِضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ, so we don't have to worry about they are going to live in poverty as today, because we don't listen to the Quran. They live in poverty. The society, I mean, basically they struggle in some of these organizations to provide them with the basics. But you go to the orphanage and you look how they are. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, La taqrabu means stay away from all their wealth. And إلا بالتي هي أحسن. إلا بالتي هي أحسن. So العبارة, except in the best method to serve them. So you think about it. See, ahsan means how you manage it, invest it, and save it. Say this orphan has $10. What is the best things to do with this $10? I can buy him a toy, or I can buy him a book, or I can buy him a masah, or a clothes, or I can invest it, and I'll give him to buy the toy and the book from some other sources. That is how. Or I will give it to him. I'll give the money to buy the toy, but I will invest it. And so that is ahsan. What is ahsan? You put all the options and you take the best. Or, not like yourself. Yourself you can do whatever you want to do. You can waste your money, you can throw it in the trash. That's different story. But for the orphan is ahsan, put all options. And you have to do only the best. You are not going to do it yourself, to your children, that's fine. But for the orphan, you have to do only the best among all these options. So that is إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ. The only exception that you can come close to their wealth is if you are going to choose the best options available and needed for him, for her or him. حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ أَشُدَّهُ. Until they are mature, then you turn their wealth to them. So we are awfu bil ahd. This is another big story. We'll look at it next week, inshallah. But listen to the translation of the whole verse. There are two here: commitment, pledges, covenant. How do you deal with it? And orphaned and their wealth. How do you deal with it? We talked about orphan next week, inshallah. We'll talk about the covenant. Inshallah. Okay, translation just as a close.
And come not near to the orphan's property except to improve it, until he or she obtains the age of maturity, and fulfill every covenant, amount of trust. Verily the amount of the covenant will be questioned about.
Let's build this comparison. In Islam, orphan, it is an obligation on every person to pay zakat to them. An obligation on the state to take care of them, obligations of all mu'min to give portion of his money to the orphan. In this society, orphan what? Is people, I choose to be good. It's my choice. So I chose to be good, so I'm going to give money for this orphan or for this charity. That is a big difference. It's not I am choosing to be good. This is my obligation, responsibility, commandment from Allah that I take this amount of my own earning and wealth and money and income and give it to the orphan because theirs, not mine. That's obligation. That's big difference that I have a lot of money, so I choose to be nice. So I'll give them some. What's the difference? Big difference, you know what is the big difference? This society pay huge amount of a charity and poverty goes up. It never affected. Because only I choose. I choose to give and I choose whom to give to. And so there are many who are left. Nobody chose them to be given. And what they call them? Marginalized. You know what the word marginalized?
Pushed to the side.
On the edges.
Money, poverty, taking care of orphans and all those who are in trouble. The society pays more than enough. There is no doubt about it, and the good people, they contribute a lot of money. But it does not solve the problem whatsoever. It does not even deal with 20% of the problem. Because it's my choice. So I'm going to go and get Chinese, or I'm going to get some from Russia, I'm going to get from Romania. And here there are marginalized orphans. I go by them every day, I don't care. He's black, he's Hispanic, he is immigrant, he is. So the problem is getting bad and bad. In Muslim society, you can't see that because it is, as I said, obligation. Wallahu a'lam. طيب, جزاكم الله خير. That's why إن هذا القرآن, read 9. That's why إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوى.
Certainly,
Yeah, let people listen to it. This is what we are talking about, the whole surah. This concept.
certainly, verily, no doubt, this Quran guides to that which is most just and right, and gives glad tidings to the believers who work deeds of righteousness, that they shall inherit Jannah.
You think if the society pay more, this problem will be solved? Huh? No, it will not. There is nothing best than the system of Allah. There is nothing. Get to the root and solve the problem eternally, permanently. Eradicate it from day one. Allah. طيب, جزاكم الله خير. Somebody.
Where is the age of